This is a chatbot application which I built using Langchain. Here we have three examples. First will be Retrieval QA. It's a basic document search application. Second one is a conversational chain application. And third one is a conversational plus retrieval chain application. First, we have this as helper. This is basically a wrapper class which I built to handle the documents on the launch, whether to load or save. In our earlier demonstrations, we did a small tweak like on first time launch, we saved the documents. On the second time launch, we commented the save documents and we enabled the load documents. But in this example, we enhanced the logic, but it is entirely new. Let me bring up that as helper. The key functionality of this helper class is it will give us the FASS vector DB reference from the Hugging Face embeddings. Again, it's a part of Langchain, so we don't need to import any other package. Once we have the Langchain, we can import all the libraries from there. Once we initialize it, then it's a usual documents loading job that we need to take care, because Langchain doesn't deal with saving or loading the memories. It actually deals with the memory index, and it uses the data to set the context while processing the user inputs in the language model. So that's why we build this. Here we have manifest file as an additional feature. Every time when we load the documents, it compares the previous modified time and the current modified time, and if there is any change, then it will update the document. If there is a new document available in the documents directory, then it will update it. So that's the simple idea of having this helper class. So I don't want to overload this chain bot. That's why we have the helper class separately. We use it to load the vector database. That's very simple. By this step, the database is loaded with the documents which are provided in this document directory. So I have given two documents. One is the story and one is my professional profile. Here we need to initialize the language model. In our previous example, we have seen we installed ollama, and then we need to pull the language models in ollama. Then we need to explicitly run ollama to make the application work. Here in this case, we need to install ollama and then we need to pull the model whichever we want to run the language model with. But we don't need to import or we don't need to run the ollama here directly. So instead we can import ollama from Langchain community. So this will internally takes care of running the ollama on behalf of us. Once the agent is initialized, then we'll run the language model using ollama. I have given llama 3.2, and over here we are creating the agent. We are using retrieval QA chain, which is available in the Langchain. From the chain type is a language model. Vector DB we are giving for database retrieval. Chain type is stuff, which is a predefined chain type from Langchain. Because I'm using small documents, my document size is very small, I'm using stuff. If we have bigger documents, we have other chain types as well, like refine or etc. So we can explore that part if we are building the bigger size documents. Now we have the agent ready. Let's run the agent now. So this is a simple conversational bot from the documents. So basically, if we have a document of your personal profile or someone's profile, you can put a lot of queries and understand about what is mentioned in the documents. I'll introduce myself just for a formality. Hi, I'm Sandeep. How are you doing? This Langchain chatbot takes some time to execute the queries. So I think because I already shared my profile in the documents directory, it already has some information about me, and that's why it is able to reply me with some information which I already possess. That's what we can see here. Now let me ask a query about, can you describe my professional experience in short? I was saying like Langchain do take some time to execute our queries. Sometimes it takes more as the context become bigger. We got the response. Okay. Yeah, it appears that I have the professional experience in software development and leadership. It actually read the content from my document. So earlier in our previous episode, we did the similar kind of application, but that was purely built using Python plus language model. We did write code to actually parse the data from language model. We need to build the prompt, setting the context and everything that we need to take care. But using the LangChain, there is nothing we did. All we did is just we initialized an agent with the language model and the vector database. That's it. These are all for the coming example, so don't worry about them. This is the simplest way that we can create document search application using LangChain. Now we are done with this example. I hope you can explore it too. But one small thing I would like to add it here is whatever answers we get from this application, they are purely based on the intelligence of the language model, how they get trained, what kind of data set they have, how their embedding weights are. If we use a different kind of model, we would get a different kind of response, and it varies how they improvise the context and share the similar facts from the documents.